communications with the French American School of Princeton. Like,
Good evening, everybody. We'd like to call the Township Committee special meeting for Thursday, June 26th to order. If you can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, which the flag is located here now versus the left.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to move on to the Open Public Meetings Notice. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was sent to the Cranberry Press, Trenton Times, and Home News Tribune on June 13th and was posted on the Township website and sent to those who requested a copy of this notice. Roll call, Mr. Christopher? Here. Mrs. Elbadawi? Here. Dr. Rogers?
Here.
Mr. Scott?
Here.
Mayor Kinnear?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to our ordinances. We have two for first reading this evening.
We're going to start with our first ordinance, which is Cranberry Township Ordinance Number 06-25-08, an ordinance of the Township of Cranberry, Middlesex County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 150 Development of the Code of the Township of Cranberry to add a new residential Mount Laurel 4 R-MI4 zone. We need introduction. Motion.
Second?
Thank you. We'll move on to roll call. Mr. Christopher?
Yes.
Mrs. Elbadawi?
Yes.
Dr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
And Mayor Kinnear?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move on to the second ordinance that is up for introduction. And again, both ordinances, second reading will be July 14th, 2025. So the second ordinance is Cranberry Township Ordinance Number 06-2509, an ordinance of the Township of Cranberry, Middlesex County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 150 Land Development of the Code of the Township of Cranberry to add a new residential Mount Laurel 5 R-MI5 zone.
Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
And we'll on to roll call. Mr. Christopher?
Yes.
Mrs. Elbadawi?
Yes.
Dr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
And Mayor Kinnear?
Yes.
Unanimous, thank you.
Okay, we have no second reads tonight, so can I get a motion to move consent resolutions A through D?
I'll make a motion to accept resolution A through D.
Second?
Thank you. We'll move on to roll call. Mr. Christopher?
Yes.
Mrs. Elbadawi?
Yes.
Dr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Kinnear? Thank you. It's unanimous.
Okay, we're going to move on to a public comment. As a reminder, when you step up, please sign in your name, put your address, and tell us your name. And comments are limited to 3 minutes.
Mayor Kinnear, before we start that, can I make a quick comment?
Yeah.
I just want to start by reiterating what I said a few weeks ago. That situation we're faced with brings us no joy. That being said, I'm not here to reiterate what's been said by my colleagues or rebut false or incorrect statements by others in the community or on social media. I want to reflect on my first 6 months in this role. I've experienced many things that I could not have expected. From lawn signs to parade floats, from people playing dress up to the involvement of national media. In the face of it all, I can say that this committee has made decisions in a responsible and ethical way in the best interest of the town that we love. Through it all, though, I have found some things to be thankful for. First, I appreciate the partnership of organizations in town, especially the Cranberry Police, that we can see in the back of the room. I'd also like to thank the people in the community who ask questions, not just to be heard, but to listen and learn. Of course, my fellow committee members and the staff of town hall, this has been a difficult situation for all of us and all of you. Finally, to my family who are watching from home, the 4 of you have been amazingly supportive through all of this, and I love all of you.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, now we're going to move on to public comment. Once again, limited to 3 minutes. Please come up, sign your name and your address, state your name, and then again, give you 3 minutes.
Everything's good?
Thank you.
My name is Mark Wachowski, North Main Street. I am speaking as a resident, not representing CHA. These comments are in response to the affordable housing plan that was approved. It was approved by the planning board Tuesday night and the township committee because of the threat of a builder's remedy. At this stage, I get it. But the plan is an insult to CHA and the citizens of Cranberry. It is an insult to me personally. You should be ashamed of yourself in the manner that it was developed. In the beginning, there wasn't any information about the requirements of the Affordable Housing Act presented to the public. The citizens of Cranberry were never told about the options available, but only why you approved the options you did. You indicated that the plan was the most fiscally responsible approach to meet the requirements. How about a morally responsible approach? You will be dealing with people's lives and a plan that puts 130 families in an industrial zone surrounded by warehouses. This plan is just wrong. You will be creating a separate community isolated from Cranberry. Shame on you. I never heard a public discussion about the TC members about the plan. Individually, did you just accept everything that was told to you? Did you ever question anything about alternative approaches? Is this all township business is handled, never questioning in public anything about what you were told? Shame on you. The latest insult is the draft MOU that was just sent to CHA yesterday at 3 p.m. and what you approved tonight. Did you read it? Among other issues that I have with the plan is that it states you don't need CHA for the 24-unit project since you have excessive numbers from the projects provided by the for-profit developer. Shame on you. The option now is to spend a lot of township's money defending the plan in court. So I'm sure we will be discussing the current plan in a different venue. Thank you for all the heartaches that you have given me personally in trying to do the right thing for the current and future residents of Cranberry. You may have done irreparable damage to the reputation of Cranberry on the local, state, and national stage. Shame on you.
Any other further public comment? You have, it's not a back and forth, so it'd be 3 minutes, right? Is that?
3 minutes altogether?
Well, you can, yeah. It's 3 minutes if you're speaking continually, are you doing, or using?
No, we had, last time we got 3 minutes each, but whatever you.
That's fine.
That's
I'm just,
Yeah, thank you.
clarifying.
Great. Great, thank you for,
Can you speak into the microphone because we're on,
Names and everything.
yeah.
Okay, Timothy Dugan, I'm an attorney with Stark and Stark, and I represent the property owner, Andy and Chris Henry, and their family. Since I've appeared here on May 12th, 25, in an effort to have the township reconsider its position to condemn the Henry Farm for this project, I've been inundated with phone calls, text messages, and emails throughout the country. Almost every farmer's called me, farmers, lawyers throughout the country. And the amount of support against taking farms for eminent domain is unbelievable. We're this divided country. I think I found one issue everyone seems to be behind, which is stop the use of the power of eminent domain to take these farms. We have dwindling farms. If it's absolutely necessary, absolutely necessary. But when there's other options, it's not. And this has risen to a national level because it's not just happening in Jersey, it's happening throughout the country. And we do want to thank the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, bringing this to a national level. It is important, and that's the reason she's involved, is to let everybody know that they're being, local governments, counties, states, that as these are being taken, it's important and we have to preserve them. And I encourage you once again to please look at the other alternatives to avoid taking the farm. And the courts ultimately decide whether or not your sites are suitable, okay? That's a fair share in the court issue, and we've already started that process, and we'll continue that process. To the extent the court allows it, the court allows it. But I'm asking you to reconsider. I know it's late in the game. You have other alternatives. And please, try to use those other alternatives to have an inclusive and fair housing program and avoid taking this farm, an iconic historic farm. And I'm very proud to represent Andy and his family. They turned down these tremendous offers to do the right thing for this township. The township is a beautiful farm. By the way, you've done a great job up to this point in your planning, and it's a wonderful town. So I will, turn this over to Andy and let Andy give his comments.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank anybody who put a Savings Farm sign up in their yard or their driveway. I wanted to explain a little bit to the town council why we didn't preserve this earlier. And in fact, we were in an 8-year program which ended in 2012. My father leased the land to a family to grow nursery trees, so we got into the program starting in 2004. But instead, they sent legions of dump trucks with branches, trees, logs, and they just dumped them there. They ground up some of it to look like they were making mulch, but it became obvious we were being scammed. The same group did it to another cranberry owner on Brickyard Road. It was a miserable court battle. I told my 87-year-old father he wanted to help working people. I tell this story for perspective and to remind people our elderly ones are more vulnerable to exploitation. We were not focused on preservation then, rather restoring a farming operation. Tom leased our land and started with 2 to 3 animals in 2016. Now has a herd of 40 cows today. He restored the fields, grew hay, uses no hormones, no antibiotics, or any synthetic fertilizer. So it's a very good farming operation. Now, preservation of the house and the farm has long been on our radar. We were focused on other things, as I just hope I explained. We're now gathering the facts and learning the details of these programs, what our obligations and restrictions may be. We must learn what burdens we're placing on our children so we don't end up in the situation of the Britannic house, which we discussed on April 28th, which they wanted to tear down because apparently nobody was able to do the proper maintenance on it. So we are looking into the preservation very seriously, and that's what we expect to do for both. We just have to get the facts first. Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment this evening?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm happy to go last if anybody else wants to speak. No? Okay.
Everybody gets 3 minutes.
I-
Does anyone else?
So, is this on? It's
Yeah.
recording?
Yeah, sure. You can just sign it again, thank you.
Is the light on the microphone? I don't know, it's showing it's there.
It's on here.
Okay, so I'm Ann Studholm at 409 South Main Street in Hightstown. I'm an attorney with Post Pollock, and I represent the Actuary Group. And I've been 2 nights. There is a huge rumor mill in this town, as you all know. And I've heard some rumors. I've heard some rumors that people have been lying to my face about being willing to work with me in lifting the, I would say, feasible agricultural easement on my client's land. It may be even more than easily feasible, but I've been very nice up till now. When we figured out what was going on, based on Mr. Van Heiss's letter of May 29th, I then wrote a letter and then put this board, contacted Mr. Van Heiss before this board on June 5th. Says, my understanding is that you don't want to take this guy's farm. I've got a property that's far better for the residents, far better. It's on the border of Plainsboro, right next to, it may or may not be in the sewer, surface area. Apparently Ms. Logan thinks it's not, I think it is, we'll figure that out, but we're right next to sewer, both in Cranberry and in Plainsboro. Perfect site, we're less than a mile from a grocery store, accessible by walking paths. I thought that on the 6th, I'd be getting a call from this body saying, please talk to us about this. It's very late in the process, but we've got 25 days, let's talk about it. For a couple of weeks. I called Kevin over and over. I called messages 5 or 6 times. And all I can think of is that Kevin was told by his client, don't respond to her. I came into the planning board, and I came to this one. I wrote a letter on June 20th. I sent it to Kevin at 11:40 on Friday, June 20th. No response. I came to this body just this past Monday night. And I was told, we just got your letter, we haven't thought about it, but, we'll definitely be reaching out to you. We feel that we're very under the gun, and we've got to get this done, but we'll definitely be reaching out to you. I hope, I sincerely hope that is true. I think it would be good for all of us if that would be true. We then heard from Ms. Lonergan. She said a couple of very interesting things to me. She said that she had told you, or you've been told by someone else, and she concurred with it, that there would be a rule prohibiting multiple, small, 100% sites of the kind the CHA has done. That is not true. I someone told me that until last night. Really should have looked into it. It's baloney. They have a fantastic record. Anything they wanted to do would certainly pass muster. They've done a great job. I then saw that she agreed that we weren't in farmland conservation. That was nice. Once again hoped and was once again reassured that you'd be talking with us as soon as you possibly could. You just had to get this in because someone's ready to sue you. I can only presume that person's probably off there, I don't know, certain on me. But things that are the rumor mill that made me think that I have to now protect my client's rights a little more aggressively.
Thank you.
I would like to mark as an exhibit my letter of June 20th, 2025. If you will mark it, I won't have to read from it.
You're not reading from it.
Otherwise, I would like to read from it, and I will let anybody Oprah it if they prevent me from reading from
Motion
it.
to adjourn. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Oprah my letter, and you'll see what is going on here.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Now we know. Our public.
Oh, yeah, like I'm not your public?
What? What do you think?
You're adjourning the meeting?
You just adjourned the meeting. She wouldn't cut off her mic.
We asked for public
Oh
comment.
my gosh.
Thank
Okay,
her
so you're
for it.
gonna blame one person and not let anybody else speak.
She was the only
She's
person.
asked.
For the record, the meeting is not permitted for the Township Committee and the public to engage in a public discussion outside of a properly noticed open public meeting. This is not the time or space for any further talk between the public and the Township Committee.
Brendan? Seriously?
That's the law.
They constitute a quorum up there. They're not allowed to talk to someone. They could. They could.
They called for public comment. You specifically called yourself for public comment.
You called yourself the last.
I said, if anyone
said
wants to
you said
come,
you were the last.
does anyone want to go?
You said you were the last speaker. So you're the last speaker.
Not to me. They can listen to anyone they want, but they decided not to. They didn't like what I had to say.
Not because there was no more public comment,